Hey, Coach, I'm so excited you found us. Make sure you subscribe down below and hit up above. We put new content out just about every day. Also, make sure you go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. If you want to put up balls like this, if you want to win, you want to learn the game, you want the roadmap to become a better basketball coach, teachhoops.com is the answer for you. It's a little bit of everything. It's mentoring, it's resources. Go over and check it out and have a great day. All right. Welcome to the Basketball Leadership Podcast. In the middle of September. Halloween's coming up, my favorite holiday, Coach. I'm sure you'll hear me talk about it. Love Halloween. I don't know why.
You're a Halloween guy, huh?
I am a Halloween guy. I always loved it with the kids and stuff. We're a Disney family, so going to Disney World, they're not sponsors, but go to Disney World. They're the best places. Christmas and Halloween at Disney World is awesome. I'm just a kid at heart. All right, so we're going to talk, before we talk about the disease of me, Coach, let's talk about your newsletter. I'll put the link down below so coaches can find it. But why don't you talk about your newsletter a little bit? It's awesome, actually. I was just reading it 2 days ago.
Yeah, I mean, well, I started with 3 people, my mom, my dad, and myself in April of 2022. And now I'm up to about 13,000 followers, which
That's
is
awesome.
crazy. And so, or subscribers, I guess. But no, it's actionable ideas on coaching, leadership, culture, and teams. It's really the same stuff that we talk about each and every week is in the newsletter. It's about a 4-minute read. It's free.
I like that's the best part of it. Like I get a couple other newsletter like the Hustle. If your newsletter, if it takes me more than 3 or 4 minutes, I don't read it because I don't have time.
Yeah. Yep.
But the ones I get it's perfect length. I love it. I do.
And I got I'll have one new thought, I'll have 2 quotes, and then 3 tweets or posts from other people. So, and there's a couple links. So if you're a coach, you're going through it and you're going to skim it, you're going to go through quick, you're going to find some things that resonate with you. And that's my goal, is just try to do what I can to help make coaches better.
Yeah, I love that. All right, so let's talk about the disease of me. This is something I've talked about 15 years maybe. I don't know. Probably pretty close to when that book came out. I mean, I'm a huge believer in talking. This is it's The Winner Within, I believe, is the book
It is
by Pat
the
Riley.
Pat Riley book.
Somewhere on the shelf.
Pat Riley, you look at what obviously he did as a coach, but then what he's done as with the Heat, and I mean the culture they've created there. And I've written about the disease of me, but basically he coined the phrase, Pat Riley did, and he used it to describe the negative impact that selfishness and ego have on a team. And when players have me first mindsets, and we know this as coaches, it will sabotage a team. And whether it's the bad apple study that we've talked about on this podcast, or um, it's a team sport, and you have to sacrifice your self-interest for the betterment of the team. And so as a coach, it's really important that we are focused on this disease of me, because when they're more focused on themselves and their own shots and their own playing time, it's not going to end well for your team.
No, and it's not, and it's I've been able to solve the problem by discussions, by talking about it, by pointing it out. Like,
Yep.
you
have to address it.
You have to address it.
You have to address it.
You have to address it. And you have to talk about it. And it's like we do an early activity where I have everyone put down how much time they think they're going to play, and then we add it up, and it never adds. It's twice as much as there is playing time. So then I have the discussion. I go, look at where we are right now.
Yeah.
Okay. And usually it's a couple kids. It's like, well, let's talk about your goals and your role and all of those things. That's why I try to do those things as much as I can, but he really dives into it. It's like there's several levels of it too, so we won't get into all of them, but it definitely can, I think, kill. I think the great teams, you and I have coached some really good teams. This isn't there in the really good teams. And if
it's never
so
there in the really good
hidden,
teams.
you can't see it. Yes.
Or it's one person that realizes no one else cares about that, and so they just have to join in and be a part of the group, because the leaders are not putting up with it. And it's contagious. Just like positive energy is contagious, negative energy, the disease of me, is contagious. And if you have a couple guys that are starting to have that mindset, it's going to filter to others. And that's why, as a coach, you have to address it right away, and you got to hit it straight on, like you said, discussion, conversation. Um, it's critical, and I think I do the same thing. I have a preseason self-perception form where kids minutes. What do you think your role is going to be? And we have that preseason meeting, and I mean, I'm flat out honest right from the get go, and then it's these ongoing discussions. And I think as coaches, I don't know if enough coaches really talk about role definition enough,
No.
and
And I don't
it
think I do it enough. And I do it at the beginning of this. I do it at least 4 times throughout the season. And it's like I feel like I don't do it enough. I'm gonna do something different, coach. You and I haven't talked about this. I think I'm going to do I'm working on a spreadsheet right now that I'm going to come up with 10 things that I think are important, and then I'm going to every Friday we're going to have a talk. I'm going to have a minute talk with every kid, and I'm going
Mhm.
to give them a grade out of 10.
Yep.
So you're a 7.5. Well, why? Because, well, you were late here, or you didn't. Yeah, I haven't come up with the exact criteria of all the 10, but it's not going to be, you shot 58%. It's going to be diving on the floor. It's going to be running to station. It's going to be stuff that everyone can do.
Yep.
And it's a team stuff and clapping on the bench. It's like, I just
Leadership,
think,
team, being a good teammate.
yeah, basically being a good teammate, being a good
Yep.
person, being like, it's like, how you helping each other out? Are you explaining stuff? Like, we see those things, and I want them to know I see them, but I've done this a really long time, and I still don't feel like I do it enough. So I'm
No,
gonna
but the fact that you're aware of it means that, and me
right,
too, like even though we don't feel it enough, the fact that we don't feel we do it enough probably means we do it quite a bit.
right,
Fair. Um, and I even think of just the little conversations we have before practice or after practice where we talk about roles and what people do and expectations. Like there's very subtle things that I think we do as coaches that all help develop this concept of we
right.
and team. And we can do the opposite as coaches too. I've seen coaches that they don't even realize what they're saying, but what they're saying is promoting a me first mindset. Like what we say really
So
matters
give
as
give an
a coach.
example of that.
I celebrating individuals. I mean, it could be something as simple on a post game press conference or something that goes in the paper and how you say it. Like before, anytime our own players get interviewed before after a game, I always go up to them before they go out to talk to the newspaper. I'll say, hey Hunter, you got Post Bulletin and Winona Daily News here. Remember, it's all about your teammates.
Right,
Like celebrate your because they're gonna. And I tell the kids ahead of time. I said their job as paper people or video. They want to talk about you.
right.
Your job is to talk about us and team. But when we do that as a coach or a player does that, you're creating this division. And so at every moment, I think what we say matters.
You
And
know who does a really good job of that?
who's that?
Caitlin Clark.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Unbelievable good job
For
as a rookie, as a person that's going to make multimillionaires out of other women in that league. If
yeah,
you watch her press conferences, every one of them, she's talking about other people. She has
yeah.
someone has prepped her to the
And she did it at
knowing.
Iowa too.
Yeah,
Yeah. And that's just an example where people that don't get team sports. I had a player like that he's the one at Iowa State. Um, Averaged 28 points a game as a senior, was one of a top 5 finalists for Mr. Basketball, was probably one of the most unselfish players I ever coached. And he played that way. And people that knew basketball were like, could see it, but
right,
you don't know basketball and 28 points a game. You must. Caitlin Clark's the same way. She always has the ball in her hands. She's a great passer. She's unselfish. She's a great decision maker. And she happens to average 25 points a game and shoot
right,
from 40 feet.
right.
Um, but yeah, you're right. Her press conferences are all about the
Yeah.
team.
I just
She
I,
gets
I
she
just had to
gets it.
point that out. Yeah, she gets it. If you want to grab something for your players to listen to. And if you just go back and listen to every Fever press conference issue, everyone. I mean, I follow the Fever on TikTok, and I
Yeah,
mean, it's unbelievable. It
it
is like,
is.
and she's in every
Yeah.
one of them. Trust me, she's in
Well,
every press conference. It's
and
her and
think of
someone
how they
else.
started the year.
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't winning, and now look at where they're at.
Right. Yes.
And I mean, one of the reasons I'm doing a version 2.0 on my team leader OS coming up is people like Caitlin Clark. I've got some great content on
Yeah.
her. There's
Great.
a great interview that Brett Ledbetter did with Caitlin Clark where they
I've
were
seen that.
filming her practice and her body language. And it just goes to show we can always grow as a leader.
I know. I've seen that too. That's a great
It
clip.
is.
And she's and yeah, but
She owned it.
she owned it. She also knew it, and she also got better at it. And that's
Yeah.
what leaders will do.
Yeah.
They'll recognize and stuff. All right. Anything else with Disease of Me, Coach?
Oh, that's good.
All right. Till next week.
See ya.
Hey, Coach. So glad you enjoyed the video. Subscribe and like before you leave. And also go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. It's got everything and a roadmap for you to become a better basketball coach. So go over and check it out. And let's head back to the next video, wherever that would be.